Hello, Transand fans, and welcome to Transistor Sandwich, the show where I use a plenitude of hardware and software to whip up some tunes that you are then free to download and use in your own projects. I'm your host, Tony, and with me today in the studio, I have absolutely no one. Julie and Gary are off on vacation this week, so I'm hitting it up solo. Well, not completely solo, because if you look to the top right corner of your screen, you'll see that Ross is out of the sickbed, for the moment at least, and hosting us on his iVlog.tv channel. So welcome, Ross, and thank you for hosting the show, even though you're a little under the weather. And this week, I have a very special request from a Transand fan by the name of Bob. If you're watching, thank you for suggesting this. It's a theme for a podcast that he's got planned, and I asked him what kind of instruments that he likes, and he likes the nylon guitar sounds, so a nice pleasing full body guitar sound. So that sounds cool. I'm digging that. And saxophone. He likes the baritone saxophones. He likes the nice deep rich saxophones. So I can work with that. I can get some nice soothing guitar with some sax going on, and kind of create a little bit of like an opening title theme for a podcast. So I'll do a full-length version, and then I'll be able to trim that down to like an opening title version that he can use, or not. He's free to use it whether if it works for him, he's free to use it. If it doesn't work for him, then I'll open it up to everyone. So this will start on, okay, well, we're going to use the iPad to create I apologize if there's some distortion in the voice audio, because I'm having a little bit of an issue with my lav mic, but just bear with us. Let me bring up a new project here, a new GarageBand project, because this is my go-to recorder now, I find. My go-to multi-track recorder. So I'm just going to start off with an instrument channel. No, not an instrument channel. Actually, I'm going to inter-app audio this one, because this gives me a great opportunity to use a pack of sounds that I accidentally bought, believe it or not. My finger was too fast on the trigger. It's a sample pack for Sample Tank, and if I go into instruments here and I bring up Sample Tank, there we go, and excellent. So now if I tap on that, it'll bring me over to my Sample Tank application, and the package that I had bought was the American Acoustic Guitar Collection. So it comes with a really nice selection of some very cleanly produced guitar samples. So let's take a listen to, now I had a chord progression that I came up with through the week that I thought I was going to use for this, so I'm just going to base everything that I do off of that. So that's actually got piano in it too. Oh, that's because I had the speakers on the piano. That's why I love this piano. It has built-in speakers, so I can walk up to it anytime and start playing. But this is nice. Very nice, clean samples. Which is good, because I can't play guitar. Oh, I see Ross has some chatters up on the screen for me, so I'll say hello to Carnell and Silverlight and Wilkes. Thank you for dropping in. It's good to have you all here. We didn't even know if we were going to have a live stream tonight. I was still going to record anyway, because I've got all the cameras here. I can record without the live stream. I just love having the live stream because I like having a live audience. I like having, even though I don't have the interaction, especially without Julie here to say, hey, this person said this, it's nice to know that you're there. And this is all coming off the cuff. I never really know what I'm going to create, so having somebody there to kind of urge me on is great. So that is my guitar that I'm going to use. Now the chord progression I come up with, I was doing some kind of, there was a B to an F sharp to an E flat. Well, I was playing between the E and the E flat and B. And then the A. And all right, so there was a play between the B, the A, the F sharp, and the E flat, and the E. So let's see what we can do with that. Hello, Susan. Thanks for dropping in. All right, so that was some chords, but what if I was to take those notes and just do a riff on them? Something like that. Let's get a rhythm going, and that's why I work well with drummers in my bands, because once I get a rhythm going, I kind of get a feel for where I want to go with a melody. So let's pull up, and since I'm using actual samples of acoustic instruments, I think I'm going to stick with some acoustic drums this week. So let's bring up our acoustic drummers. I'll use the actual drummers. I have to pump up my headphone volume because there's a hum in my headphones again when I turn on the noise cancellation. Oh wait, there was. Well, it's not there now. All right. Oh, that distortion's gone too. Maybe the distortion was only coming from the fact that I didn't have my headphones turned on. Well, isn't this a great start to the show? I'm creating music and I don't even know how to operate headphones. Well, you know, these things happen. Oh, that's not going to be fast enough. I want this to be a little more up-tempo because he told me a little bit about the podcast, and I get the feeling that I want it to kind of start out with a little backstory, and then I want it to blossom into like an up-tempo kind of happy thing. Yes, that is about as well as I'm going to be able to explain it at this moment. So a little more tempo, a little more up tempo. So we're at 110. That's odd. Usually 120 is the standard for a lot of sequencers. Yeah, there's a 120. Oh, here I was playing. I wasn't playing the right instrument. Let's see if I can get a guitar to go along with. Well, that's an interesting, I like that. I'm going to record that before I forget it, because I will forget it. All right, so there's the first part of my loop. So I've got a little bit of a guitar lick in there, some natural sounding drums. This is, if you have GarageBand on your iPad or iPhone, you'll find this listed under Kyle, and Kyle is doing the half pipe. I guess that's the name of the rhythm. I might pump it up a little bit. Now you can, when you look at the layout for the drummer on iPad, you can select the different instruments that he's playing. So right now it's basically just your kick, your snare, and your hi-hat, and the occasional crash. So I can add in like a tambourine and a shaker. Ooh, I like that shaker. Yeah, the shaker's good. I'm gonna leave the shaker in there. There's hand claps too, but I'm not gonna do a hand clap thing on this. I'm gonna pump up the loudness of it a little bit. And basically all that does is it just, it's a more aggressive playing style. Oh, it also changed the complexity. I have to turn the complexity down because that changed that steady rhythm a little bit. There we go. Oh, no, now he's got an open hi-hat. I want to calm down. Wow, holy crap, you give a drummer an inch and he'll take a mile. Isn't that right, Rob? And Julie? And Dennis? And all those other drummers I know out there. All right, so that has got my little guitar lick. Now I need a bass player to go along with him. So let's pull in, well, I'm gonna pull in an actual synthesized bass because it's me. And I know I can find one that will blend really well. So there's like the booming bass. No, maybe not the booming bass. Classic funk. That is definitely Transan style. That may be a lot more subtle when it ends up in the mix, but I want it in there now. All right, that was close. Close. I'm going to bring that around again. I'm going to try that one more time. Okay, so I see one note that I accidentally hit there. I'm just going to go into edit the individual notes on this track, and I can see where that note is like overlaying on top of another one. So I'm just going to pull that out of there. There we go. Squeeze that back in. And let's go into, pull those tracks to the side there so I can see a little more. Let's see our track settings. We'll go into the quantization and do an eighth note quantize on that. We can't do that on the guitar because it is actually not MIDI. All right. So we'll bring that one a little down a little into the background. Let's go into the EQ settings. Give it a little more bass presence. A little compressor on it there. Maybe a bit of verb. There we go. Pull it into the background a little bit so it's there we go. Oh, that's sounding all right already. Okay, let's see all of our tracks here. Get rid of our effects panel. or settings panel rather. And now I've got that. I'm going to take that section and duplicate that. So that'll come around a couple of times. Let me see all sections here. All right. I heard now I'm hearing a pad in there. I need a little bit of pad to kind of just fill in the cracks. A little bit of glue that holds it all together. So what kind of a pad? Well, I'm going to pull something from the Korg to the left of me. And let me see, instrument, whoop, instrument audio recorder. We'll reset everything and give us a stereo input. I thank you. All right, so, my live view is not working. Did my camera battery, oh crap. My camera battery died. I had another camera off to the side focusing on the Korg, and everything was going really well, and then the camera battery died. Wah, wah. It was looking really cool too. It's I figured out a way to get the DSLR to stream video into the Mac, and then I just used QuickTime to capture that part of the screen, and it's not like full HD res, but it's a DSLR. It's got a killer lens on it, great optics, so even if it's a small resolution, it's going to look good on the screen. But unfortunately, it died. So maybe I could get Ross, if Ross is listening, which he should be because he's hosting the stream. But maybe I could get him to come and grab this battery and pop it in a charger. I might pop it in a little later. Catch the end of the show at least. Now, I have some lovely pads on this Korg. I know I do because I've come across them. 35. Oh, the glide sweep. I wonder, it's not a pad. I just wanted to hear it. That might be an intro or something. I think it's going to be. Let me see. Pads. Bring me my pads. Well, that's some bass stuff there. I've got a little bit of a reflection happening, so I can't really see what I'm doing. We've got a bow and... Oh, there's an analog pad 7, number 68. I think I've used this before. Let's see what it sounds like. I wasn't looking for something quite that stringy. Oh, have you come for my battery?
Does that not have a power input on it?
No, that would be awesome if it did, but it does not. It's a DSLR. They don't work that way. They're meant to be carried around and taking pictures, not used as a video input. But it does do a really good job of the video input. I believe the charger is either in my office or in the bedroom. If it's in the office, it'll be in the corner there, but I think it's actually in the bedroom on the nightstand, if memory serves. Why? I didn't have enough plugs somewhere at one point. so it just ended up staying there. All right, back to my pads. I didn't want something that stringy. I wanted something a little more choirish. Choirish? That is a word, honest. I'm just making up words as I go along. That's what writers do. So if I'm writing music, that gives me permission to do it as well. I like that logic. Synpad, see what that's like. No, that's got a tack to it. I don't want that. 60, the voices. Oh, Airways. I think I've used this one before. Oh, well, that's got a bit of a do to it. That might be interesting, though. Well, maybe not that creepy, but but that's kind of neat. I think I got something. Hi, Shelly. Thanks for dropping in. Well, that went completely in an opposite direction of what I thought it was going to go, but I like it. So I'm going to use it. I'm going to record that now. Now I'll have to mute my microphone. Yes, just the microphone. Okay, I'm not sure I want the beginning part that I did. I think I just want to start from that do-do-do-do-do. Oh, I'm trying to grab hold of the, the playhead. Okay, I need to zoom in a little bit because I'm catching the last note from the previous run. Let's see. Oh, no. Right about there, I think. Drag that back. There we go. Got that starting at the right moment. All right. Let's see all of our tracks. Zoom out. Okay, so now I'm going to take section A and B. Well, actually, just section B, because it's a copy of A, and duplicate it. There we go. And actually, okay, I need to hear all of the sections because I need to get a feel for the timing of it. So I'm just going to pull up all of the sections there. Let's back it up. Okay, now that I've gotten a sense of the timing, I know that section C that I just created is actually going to change a bit. I'm going to modulate it up a couple of steps. So I'll delete the audio tracks that I recorded. Ooh, my voice just went all cool and stuff. That's because I clicked on the sample tank track, which is now defaulting to an audio input. And since it already had some effects on it, there they are. Now, what I want to do is take the funk synth bass and move it to another track. So let's duplicate that track because I want to take that track and go into the settings, track settings, and I'm going to transpose it up. How many semitones? Let's see. Bring up my piano there so I can get a sense for it. All right, so I want to go up to E. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 semitones. 3, 4, 5. Let's see what that sounds like. All right, that's got it in the right spot. Now I need to record the new sample tank section for it. So I need to reconnect that to sample tank. I don't know why it doesn't remember. Silly thing. You would think with all the memory that it has in it, it would remember stuff. Oh, I have to go back to my sample tank. There, to get my guitar. So, the guitar part was you can hear the dude's fingers on the strings. Like they're really good guitar samples. So now I need to do that same kind of riff in E. Something like that. Let's see if that works. Oh, I have play controls. Oh, for GarageBand, it gives you a little like widget along the side when you're in the connected app, so I can play right from there. All right, so that's going the right direction. I'm gonna wait until that rolls around again because I gotta try this again. I think I have a feel for the notes that I need to play to make it sound like it's part of it. Oh, there's those do's. I gotta turn them down a little bit. They're a little overpowering. Okay, I definitely have a feel for it this time. So let's go back to GarageBand. I'll set up my playhead at the right spot and we'll record that. I don't need to mute the mic for this because it's recording directly from the inter-app audio. Well, that was close, as there were a couple of sustains that kind of crashed into each other. By sustain, I mean when you hit a note and it fades out. So if I hit two notes together and they fade out together, it's a little eerie, which works well for some tunes, not for this one. I don't want this one to be eerie. I want this one to be upbeat and happy. So let's try that again. There we go. Now we've got it. Now, when that comes back out of that, now I've got 3 sections. I want to make those a nice even 4 sections. So I'm going to duplicate section B, because after that modulated section, I want to come back down to the B. Excuse me. Now let me look at all sections here, so I can get an overview of what I has just done. Why am I missing a bass section there? Oh, because I moved it to another track. Duh. I couldn't see because there's not enough vertical height on the screen. All right, so in that modulated section, that is where another instrument's going to come in. He said he also likes saxophone, the baritone sax, the lower end saxes, not the high screechy ones. So I have a new system set up on the side. I think I do anyway. I didn't actually turn it on. Well, I just didn't turn the screen on, I guess. I have another PC set up on the side running Sample Tank, the PC version, and over the years I've been collecting lots and lots of samples, and Sample Tank will work with like actual wave samples and whatnot. So I had a pack of samples that had some saxophones in them. And this is a baritone sax that I found. That's actually. So how do I make that go into an up-tempo song? Well, you use a lot of staccato notes. So let's see. I'll bring it back to section B so I can kind of get a little lead into it. Well, this is going to be a little harder than I thought. Trying to fit this in. I'm going to let it come back around. I need to hear that again. It might not be staccato notes. It actually didn't sound bad with full-length notes. Nope. I'm sorry, sax isn't going to work in that. I can't make it work with an up-tempo song. But it has not lost its position in the song because it's going to, I believe, come in that intro. Speaking of which, I think I may do that now. I need a new section. So let's add a section here. And I'm just going to go into edit mode and drag that section right to the beginning. There we go. Let's go back here. Oh, crap. I keep forgetting to click on all sections when I want to see all sections. Duh. So I don't want the drums. I want it to lead in with that sweep that I had from the Korg. Sure. I know there's no drummer selected. I want to select a track. Audio recorder. Instrument. And so let's reset that, give us a stereo input, and let's bring our Korg back into the mix. Yes, I know you do, and you do well. Speaking of which, I'm going to pull the do's down a bit in that last take there. Now, that sweep, that sweepy thing that I found, it was in the D's, and, oh, there it is. 35, I think. 35. Yes. So it starts in B, so I'm going to use this sweep to lead it in. All right. Oh, I should have kept recording that fade out because I wanted to blend nicely. There, we get the reverb tail on the end there. Oh crap, it also got my voice. I forgot to mute my microphone. I saw the waveform going, but yes, because it was recording me. Oops. All right. There is my voice. Okay, there, we got the tail fade. Now I'm just going to move that into position because what we want it to do is we want it to start, well, we want it to end just as A is starting, section A. So let's see where we have to go to get it to do that. Let's try this. Ah, there we go. Now, there's actually going to be a little bit of, this is where I'm going to put the baritone sax. And that will also be an instrument input, stereo, because we'll be pulling that from this computer on the side. There we go. Now I need to come up with a lick that's similar to what's going in the up-tempo part of the song, a similar theme, but a little more laid back. This is the before, and then it's going to sweep in to the after, obviously, since it came before. So the other thing is, close, I'm getting there. Let's see. I'm not sure if I have enough bars to do that. Not that. Something like that. Let's see. I'm going to solo this channel because everything else is going to kick in and throw me right off. So I got to mute my mic so I can record that. Okay, I forgot where my mic was. Okay, so did you hear that little burp at the beginning? That was, oh, my keyboard was gassy. Let's hear that just to see what it sounds like. Burp. All right, I'm gonna take that little part out. So let's listen to this. Well, it might help if I bring the rest of the instrumentation in. Okay, I think I want it to start a little sooner. The last note doesn't really hold long enough. I think I'm going to re-record that. So let's delete that take. I'll solo that channel again, and I'm just going to hold that last note longer. That gives me the opportunity to take that track afterwards and just fade it down. Fade it down so it blends in a little better. So let's mute the mic. Can you imagine the poor sax player that had to hold that note that long? Let me see. I wouldn't do that to them in real life, only when they're machines. Let me see if that... Ooh. my timing was horrible there. I thought I heard that when I did it. That can't stand. I'll have to do that again. Oh, that was a foghorn right there. All right, I think that will work though. Oh, no, I can tell just by looking at the waveforms that it's not going to start at the right spot, so I'm just going to bump it ahead a little bit there. And let's do this. Okay, so now if I tap that and go into settings, it doesn't do what I thought it was going to do. Wait, I'm trying to remember now where the automation is. Oh, okay, so you tap on the icon for the track and you'll get automation. And so now, if I go into automation and grab my pencil, well actually hold on to my pencil and use the other finger to create a pencil point on the volume indicator here. And so I've got two little pencil points. Just going to drag one down to have it fade out to infinity. There. That is a fade. All right, so we'll get out of automation mode there. And I wanted actually some percussion at the beginning as well, like but not a full-on drum kit. I'm talking like, you know, congas, that kind of thing. Oh, actually, it seems to me that there is, with the latest version of GarageBand, there is a new percussion section. So I'm going to pull that in. Oh, who else? Oh, we've got some new people. I see Maria. Hello, Maria. And Bob. Hey, Bob. We're working on your tune, man. And now we're adding percussion. Oh, we added a little too much. I only want it at the beginning section. So let me zoom out so I can get rid of everything else that it put in there. Select all those and delete. Whoops, I deleted all the wrong things. Undo. This one, this one, this one, this one. There. Is that? Ah, I did it right. Okay. Okay, so maybe not the Coconut Grove. That's what this one is called, Coconut Grove. Apparently there's only one, oh no, there's other percussionists in here. This one is Isabella. We have Quincy, Finn, Kyle. Oh no, I'm back in the drummers there. So Finn, oh, Cajun. He's got some Cajun stuff going on. Let's hear what he's doing with his thing. Maybe not. Oh, actually, that's kind of neat. I forget what it was now. Boulder Creek? Oop. Hold on, go back. No, that was... No, Cafe Soul? Yes, it was Cafe Soul. Cafe Soul. There's a bit of soul in this cafe. All right. So now, that means that the sax part that I just recorded, that's going to have to start right at the beginning of that. There we go. There we go. Now, I like that. I like it. But I'm going to duplicate that track because what I want to happen after that, well, I could do it with automation, I suppose, but I may want to do other stuff with it. So this will give me some flexibility. So I'm going to do, oh, I thought I was duplicating the track. Apparently it won't let me duplicate the track. I have too many drummers probably. This thing only has so much drum space available. Okay, so I'm going to loop that drums, and I will use automation since it's not giving me any other choice. So let's pull up our automation there, and I'm just going to pull the volume down a tad when the regular drums kick in. Just to have this stay in the mix, but become an accompaniment in the background. So let's get that like that. There we go. So I've created a split point in the volume level. So here, got it up there. So now it is actually still there. It's just, it has become a little bit of accompaniment in the background. Maybe a little too little. Let's bring that up to minus 5.2. Let's see what that says. Ah, there we go. So it blends well with the shaker that's in the main rhythm. All right, this is starting to come together. All right, so. Okay, so I'm going to pull I'm going to go into the automation on the, keep clicking on the wrong thing. The automation for the saxophone, I'm just going to bring the main level down a little bit. I want it to be a little more subtle than what I had recorded. Maybe a little more subtle than that yet. Let's bring it down to minus 6.2. Oh, that's a little too subtle. Now it has lost its impact. Let's go to about there. There, it seems on an even keel with that percussion section now. Now, the very beginning of it needs a little something something. And of course, I think it needs piano. Because I didn't get a chance to add piano yet. That's not the only reason. I also love playing piano. And I hear Bob likes a little piano as well. So this works out fine. Work out even better if there was actually piano coming out of it. There we go. Oh, not that. Okay, so it's just going to be a little something at the beginning. I'm not really sure yet. I'm just kind of letting it roll around in my head because there's a lot of empty space in there. It's got plenty of room to move. Okay, I actually want this piano to start right with the opening. Okay. Something like that, I think. Whoops. It's hard to start playing at the same time you're pressing play. Okay, something along those lines. I'm getting there. Whoops. I think I want to go simpler. I think it's going to blend a little better. Something along those lines. I think I may actually record a version of that. What it will end up sounding like is all up to my fingers, I guess. Well, that went somewhere I wasn't expecting it to, but now I want to check it out to see what it sounds like. I don't like that rest at the beginning, but I do like that rest. I like that. I just don't like that rest at the beginning. So I had done something like, yeah. So I think I'll do it like that. Actually, maybe I'll just punch that in there because I like that second part. Let's try that. Okay, I'm not sure how well a punch-in's gonna work because now it's got a split there, but let's see. Actually, it worked. All right, well, that sounds okay. So now, of course, it's got to be transanitized. So now comes time for the arpeggiators. I know, I'm just crazy on arpeggiators, but it was one of the first things that actually turned me on to synthesizers. I was like 4 or 5 years old. I can remember being like 4 or 5 years old, watching a synthesizer on, I believe it was Sesame Street. I think it was one of those little sections in Sesame Street where they, you know, go out to like an industrial factory and show how stuff is made and stuff like that. And they did a special on a synthesizer. So this would have been like, all right, so like 1974. So they weren't terribly complex synthesizers at the time. There was no such thing as MIDI, but they had arpeggiators. Even the earliest synthesizers had arpeggiators, and that was one of the things that really turned me onto the synthesizer. I was like, wow, that is just so cool how it can do all of this stuff, and you can control it from what looks like a piano keyboard to me. And then, of course, you know, being 4 or 5 years old and seeing all these cables plugged into it, I think it was a Moog, and seeing all these cables plugged into all these, and then there was like dials and knobs and lights, and oh, it was fantastic. It just really turned me on to synthesizers, and I've been doing it ever since. So let us bring up our Alchemy synth here and go into our arpeggiators and relive some of that 70s arp. Oh, actually, that may actually work. That is a 70s arp. Now I'm just going to pull the other synths out of that. So there's some, I'm going to leave it on the 70s. There are some variations on that. That's a soft attack one. This is a soft mod. Oh, actually, I like that one better. Ooh, that one's nice too. That one has mallets. Ooh, deep drone. Oh, it was doing something. Oh, it has a little bit of a pulse to it. This one's called Movement. Oh, it feels like it's flying around my head. It's giving me the creeps. Not that one then. Oh, that one's a heavy gate. Oh, that one's kind of nice. I like that one. This one's called Playful. Okay, either the bright gate or the solo mallet. So I'm not sure which one will fit yet, but we shall see. I'm just going to play it. Well, I'll back it up a little bit. Get that little intro there. Well, I do like that one. It blends really nicely. That works really well. I'm going to try the bright gate now just to see how well that one blends. Oh, I like that one. Yes, that definitely. All right, so I'm going to back up to A. It's only going to start when everything kicks in. Or will it? Maybe it'll start at the beginning as well. Let's try that. Something low, maybe. Maybe just a low. Now it interferes with the saxophone. Yeah, because it has more impact. The solo mallet might work. Yeah, so I'll create another track for that. But in the meantime, let's get our midsection going here. Okay, so that's where I need to modulate up to the E, and I only just remembered it when it came up to it. So I stopped it right away. So then it's going to... Okay. Okay, and then now all I have to do is just take that and copy it into D, paste, ta-da, ta-da. Okay, that's the new ta-da now, ta-da. There's a little spot where it kind of drops out. Oh, that might be the opportunity for that second arpeggiator. Let's try that. I want arpeggiated 70s synth arp, and it was the soft mallet. So it kind of drops, the piano drops out a little bit where the saxophone comes in, so I'm going to use it as a little bit of filler for that. Something like, something along those lines. Not quite like that. Might have to start it right at the beginning, but it'll still give filler. I'm just going to pull the track down a little bit in the background. Okay, I think I've got something here. Okay, I think I've got that. Now I'm just going to go into the track settings here. Let's quantize that previous track. And it looks like eighth notes will work just fine. And this one as well, straight eighth notes, okay. I was starting to jam on the other keyboard and that just didn't fit at all. Oh, the intro actually loops around nicely. Actually, I kind of liked how that went together. So now I'm going to take that intro part, which is section E. I'm going to duplicate section E, put it right at the end there. That's lovely. Ooh. And I tried to zoom out and I didn't have all my sections in place. Let's see. All right, so give me some more screen real estate here. I'm going to take the sax out of that end section, and I'm going to make it half as long. Okay, so yeah, so that will only be those 4 bars. Section F, click on info and drop that down to 4 bars. And then, then I can take section A and duplicate, section B, duplicate, was it B? Actually, hold on. Hold the phone. Let's edit those sections. Take those last two that I just put in there because it wasn't section A that I wanted to start with. I just wanted to go back to right before it modulated. So there's section A. So, oh yes, so I want section B and C to come back around. B, C, and then, yeah, B, C, and then D. Cool. Sounds good? Sounds good. All right, so B, duplicate. C, duplicate. And D, duplicate. Did I do that right? I hope so. Let's take a look at all the sections. All right, so that means that it now comes to the end of that section. Does that little breakdown. Okay, so in that breakdown, I'm going to bring the sweep back. And that is on this track, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. And I'm going to add it in, well, I'll start recording there. It'll be added in at some point there, and it was 60, what was it? Or no, 35, wasn't it? Yes, it was 35. So let's pull the microphone out here so I can get a good recording. Okay, that was what I wanted that to do. So now that little section should have that in there. And then it loops back around. Cool. All right, let's see all sections there. Oh, I had it on all sections. All right, well, let's see more of all of my tracks. Ooh, this is looking really complicated now. I still need to fix up that sax. Let's go into the sax automation and pull down its impact a little bit. Now that there's a little bit more backing it up, it doesn't need to be as impactful. Cool, I like how that goes in. Now, just one little more piece. I just need to, I need a little accent to bring us in, and I usually use one of the special effects from the Alchemy synth. Under sound effects, the pitch fall is one that I really like. It's like having a crash. You know, a cymbal crash. Well, it'd be like this if it was an orchestra, or like this if it's a drummer. But a very synthesized version of it. Like that. Very synthesized. There we go. Cool. All right. Well, I think that's it. Of course, this is still just a rough copy. I then take it into Logic and play around with it. Logic gives me the opportunity to do a little bit of mastering and to kind of just polish up some of the tracks. Some of these tracks are, of course, as you know, they're recorded through audio, through the board, and sometimes you get a little bit of noise in them, so I like to run them through a processor and just remove any little buzzes or hisses that might be in the actual analog audio signal. And then I'll render it out and we'll see what it sounds like. But for now, let's see what it sounds like all together, the whole thing. Wait, it doesn't have an ending. What do I give it for an ending? I need one more section at the end just to give it an ending. Let's go to the end, because the end is at the end. Duh. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit here because I just need a little hit at the end, a little bit of a crash, a drum crash. And let's see. Grab a hold of, hey, why can't I see the end of that drum track? Well, no problem, I'll just split it. Let's go into split mode here. I get my little scissors. I can drag these scissors anywhere along this and pull them downward and it snips the track. Then I can select the rest of it and delete it. There. So now I just have a crash at the end, and it might be nice to have a final note, which would be B. There, that's that final note. Or that one. Dur, 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 dur. Get another final note in here. You can't really hear that one, but it adds a little bit more bottom end to that final little hit. Oh, and of course, there we go. We have our little ending note. So let's go back to all tracks, all sections here. All sections, all tracks, show our entire setup here. Look at all that complexity. Oh, and let's save that, shall we? All you have to do is just back out of it and then go back into it. That saves it. It's all supposed to be saving in real time in the background, but who knows? This thing could crash at any minute and I could lose everything. Well, everything that wasn't just backed up in the cloud. All right, so I'm gonna play this song back for you. I ain't gonna be singing along with it this week. This week I'll just play back for you what I have, because Julie's on vacation and she's usually the one who does up all the words for me. But let's check this out and see how it sounds, shall we? And there you have it. That's not actually quite what I expected. The very last section it stayed modulated up to the E. It didn't drop back down to the B. So, but that's just, I copied the wrong section in, that's all. But that is the whole song put together. So this one might be posted on the Transan site. I'm not sure yet. It depends on whether or not Bob wants to use it. If Bob uses it, it's all his. And then next week, we'll create another whole tune that you guys can use for your own projects. And hey, if you have a special request, by all means, send it in. You can ask for a song that you can use for your own project that is not being used by anyone else. I'm happy to create a new song every other day of the week if I could, but I have a job, so I can't. So with that, I would like to say thank you to Ross for, dragging himself out of his sick bed so that he could host the live stream on iVlog.tv and on Facebook. And I want to remind everyone that you can follow me on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. And of course, my YouTube friends, click on that subscribe button and like or dislike. I do a different song every week. You're not going to like them all, so you can click like or dislike. It's all cool. And share the YouTube channel with your friends. And share it with your not friends. Share it with everyone. Just spread it around everywhere. We just want to hit up everyone because the songs are so varied that at some point somebody's going to hear one that they're like, whoa, dude. Well, I hope so anyway. All right, folks. Well, I want to thank everyone who dropped in for the live show. I'm looking at Carnell and Silverlight and Wilkes and Warhawk. Bratina was there, MJam, MP3, Bill. And on our Facebook, we had Susan and Shelley and Judy and Maria and Bob, of course. And that was fantastic. So I'm so happy that everybody dropped in to hang out with us while we create some tunage for Transistor Sandwich. So until next week, later, taters. Hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit subscribe and click the notification bell if you don't want to miss the next video. Touch or click a video to the right for even more Transistor Sandwich.